Hey, Bergforce! This is GI Joburg, and I am Paul, and I want to talk about my first toy for 2023. In fact, my first GI Joe for 2023, and that is bum ba da bum ba da ba, Classified Stalker. So, yeah, he's pretty cool. I am definitely more impressed with this figure seeing it in front of me than I have been with any images online. So I'm very happy to say that my first impressions on this guy have been pretty good. And still, I love this artwork. I dig the whole mix of sort of the urban slash military feel. Because Stalker's got roots from the streets. He was on the streets. He was a big bad there, joined the military, and now he's got his military side. And I'm loving this. It's such a great piece. So yeah, let me get this box open now instead of like gushing over the artwork. So 46 classified figures. Guys, let me know in the comments, please. Have you got all 46 of these or more? I'd love to know. I'm cherry picking. I don't want to get them all because I don't love every single classified release. I'm not going to lie. And so these reviews are mostly going to cover the figures that I like and the ones that I think are good. And recently, Steve just got himself one of those retro stalkers. So now it's my turn to talk about my classified stalker as I wrestle him out of the packaging. So this guy actually feels good. Doesn't feel stiff. Doesn't feel like if I move something, it's going to snap off or twist off, which is a really nice feeling for classified Joes. That's a major improvement. Also, really liking the finish. And love that scar on the head. Love it. It's so cool. I didn't realize Stalker was missing it until they added it. So now it's kind of part of my Stalker canon. Yeah. Also, just surprised at how nice and posable and fun this felt or like feels out of the box. Oh, it's Karma, my cat. She's just inspecting. Yeah, and I'm digging the finish on this. So, if I'm not mistaken, this is the Snake Eyes Commando body. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But I think the camouflage and all that is looking great. There's a lot of the stalker-ness coming here. It's just a pity about that ab crunch. It's ratcheted, thankfully, but I really hate that. I really would like Hasbro to move past that. But anyway, let's see if that happens. And now Stalker's got his beret, and that's the Stalker we all know and love. Sometimes that's also the Stalker we know and love with dreadlocks. Personally, I don't mind either look. I think they both look great. I feel like the dreadlocks definitely makes him look younger, but it's not very practical. And yeah, so like just as he is, he's got a great Stalker silhouette. And here we go with the Shemach. Now this is an impressive accessory. The texture on it, the folds, beautiful piece. I'm gonna pop this head off. Oh, and there we go. Oh, and I knocked the camera because so much awesome. Anyway, now he's headless. So the Shemach is great. It just feels like it floats a bit high. But sometimes these things need to settle a little bit. You need to play it in there a bit. So I'm going to leave it on for this chat and see if it grows on me during the review. See what my feelings are in a couple of minutes. But yeah, I've got to get that beret on. Yeah, there he goes. He looks mean. I don't think it's the most attractive face sculpt, but it definitely feels stalker. So it's right. They didn't try to make him too cool. They tried to make sure he had the right character. So I'm just going to put him down here. Hopefully he stays standing because this always happens to me, guys. Every time I get a classified Joe, I never get a stand. I don't know. Do you guys get stands with your classifieds? It feels like when the factory packs mine, they never get them. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you got a stand with your classified GI Joe figure. And let Hasbro know if you haven't got one. This is an unusual accessory. It's actually why I went for it first. It looks like a suppressor of some kind. So I just wanted to grab that because that just seemed very out of place. I mean, everything else read pretty clearly. But here we go. We got the, it looks like a Colt with an extended magazine. And I'm going to pop on that suppressor. And it's like it's a cool kid suppressor. I mean, that's a very attractive looking gun. It's not the normal round one. I would love to know why that kind of suppressor exists. So yeah, educate me. Let me know. Yeah. So trying not to break this as I pop it in his hand. So the classified figures thankfully have quite a tight grip. And thankfully he has a trigger finger, but it's not super obvious. It doesn't look like he's got a horrible nose picking finger, which really annoys me, and I'm sure it annoys you guys too. So I'm glad to see that Stalker doesn't have a nose picking finger. His trigger finger is pretty subtle. And yeah, there we go. It's the best pose I can do right now as I'm sort of scrambling to show off all of his cool stuff. And guys, I'm liking this toy just more and more as I'm showing it to you. It's really great. It's such a basic figure, but it has so much going for it, and that's always a pleasure. Because a lot of the classified stuff is not amazing, to be fair. Or should I say, it's mostly good. When it hits that amazing territory, it stands out. Cool to see that the pulverizer's mag is removable. I really like that. And yeah, they've done a great job here on the sculpt of the pulverizer, and it's kind of his staple. It's probably going to be the weapon I'm going to put in his hands the most. Like Steven, I'm also a big fan of this gun. I think it looks right. Maybe I misunderstood Steven on that one, but I feel like the pulverizer is perfect for Stalker. And this cool little backpack where you can put the gun in there, and it looks like, oh, there we go. Yeah, there is a space for the magazine to go in. Now, I don't want to push it in too deep there because I have done that with classified figures and torn some pieces, and I'll talk about that in future toy chats like this. And yeah, that's his backpack, and I dig that. I was not expecting that. I feel like I've seen it, but I forgot about its existence. So I'm really pleased to see that they included that accessory, because it's something a lot of the classified figures have these very solid backpacks. So when you get something that's quite functional, that's always a bonus. Also, I love keeping a toy complete. It's always great when you can display a toy and have all of its gear on him or her or it or whatever it is that you bought, instead of having to relegate everything into some kind of accessory storage or accessory corner. And now we got this machine gun, and I keep dropping this bullet box, but we got this machine gun. It looks, I want to say, is it an M60 that it looks like? But it's not. It's definitely not. However, it is cool that they have made the removable bullet box that has got real bullets. It's got a specific direction there for the peg. Obviously, I'm too excited, and this new toy slipperiness, I keep throwing everything around. But it seems to fit in snugly, and that is a win for me. So, let's quickly put his knife in the sheath. Pretty cool. Looks like it's not going to mess the leg articulation. So I'm just going to set him down here and hope he doesn't fall over. Because you guys know what happened. I didn't get a stand with my figure. I'm liking this machine gun. Doesn't feel Stalker, but I'm digging it. But we're going to go into the blow by blow right now. I got to get something off my chest. So I love the character, so when they announced the Classified Stalker, I was super excited. When I saw the press images, not as much, but I was hopeful and I did a pre-order anyway. And when BBTS charged me a little earlier than I was expecting on my card, and I saw it was for this toy, I had serious buyer's remorse. Not gonna lie, dudes. It was... I was thinking of turning it back, but then I thought, hey, maybe there's a reason. And when I opened this box, this delivery, I understood what the reason was. This toy is badass in hand, like super cool. So where do we start? Aside from the great color choice, the camo being accurately done, these are major wins. The boots are awesome. The holster looks great. But I'm going to talk about that web gear. And yeah, it's under the shemagh right now. But I really love the web gear. It's low profile. It doesn't have any unnecessary holsters or knife sheaths. It's got little sculpted, I imagine it's a flashbang or smoke. This cool little sculpted knife. Not removable, of course, and the pouch. But all low profile, close to the body. Looks modern, but still maintains some of that vintage cool. Doesn't take anything away from Stalker, but it is all hidden. Oh, it fell again. Hasbro, about my stand. The shemagh, however, is kind of the divisive element here because I think it's cool. I think it's so well sculpted. The texture is beautiful, but it's just gonna be irritating when I want to play with this toy. And it's also, it limits the neck articulation. It makes the toy look a little shorter. It makes him look very tense. I don't know, it makes him look a little bit turtle-like. I don't know, I'm still on the fence about it, but I'd say that's kind of a negative. The head sculpt, I don't think he's the best looking Stalker, to be honest with you, but I do think it's a great head sculpt. From the scar on the side of his head, to the haircut, to the character on his face, the head sculpt is great. And then the backpack, which is kind of unusual. I forgot that the backpack existed on this figure when I saw it initially. I wasn't expecting a backpack for Stalker. And the one we got makes a lot of sense. It's weird because when you see it, it doesn't necessarily scream Stalker, but it's functional. And I love that his gun is not plugged on the side of a backpack, that it goes into like a holster. Also great that you can store the magazine. And yes, I haven't shoved the magazine in there, as I mentioned before, but it's great that it can hold that. Sadly for me, I'm going to have him carrying his pulverizer all the time. So this backpack's going to mostly be empty. And yeah, it passed the shake test. So annoying. So many classified Joes, their backpacks just fall out. It's so dumb. And yeah, the whole stand thing is an issue. The gun holster is great. That's something I find Classified has done consistently well. Is pretty good gun holsters. So this one still there. Not too modern to pull it away from the vintage feel, but also, you know, looks nice and practical. It's subdued. You can remove it if you want to, so it's not sculpted in there, which is nice. It's holding that very interesting suppressor. Please let me know in the comments why a suppressor would be like that. I would like to know. And then the machine gun, which for me is not very Stalker-like, but kind of is, as I may have said, it's a very much a V2 Stalker thing. But hey, it's there. So if you don't want him carrying the pulverizer, which is an outdated gun anyway, you've got that. So that's cool. Then you can keep the pulverizer in the backpack and you can have a complete figure without having to keep anything in the accessory bin, which is a bonus. Unless, of course, you don't like the shemagh. And I think I'm going to display mine without the shemagh. The knife sheath. So yeah, this is also cool that it's removable. But also well designed, doesn't seem to be getting in the way. I mean, most of the poses I would do as Stalker, that knife sheath is not going to get in my way. So I'm happy with it. I'm glad that it's not on his chest or on his webbing. Stalker is an absolute win for me. He appeals to the vintage collector in me. He appeals to the modern toy collector in me. I feel he's a great entry figure for guys who are into military stuff. Maybe not into GI Joe, but want a cool looking like soldier figure. I feel like Stalker delivers that. I feel like he ticks a lot of the GI Joe boxes. He is fantastic. And one of my favorite things is that all of his gear is tightly stowed. I can pose and play and do all kinds of cool stuff with this toy without worrying about losing little bits that are going to fall off, because this one is solid. So yeah, guys, Stalker is a winner. Let me know in the comments, do you agree, do you disagree? What are your favorite elements of this toy? What are the things you hate about this figure? I know some of you might have wanted dreadlocks. Let me know. I don't know. I'm cool either way. But yeah, guys, thank you for checking out my unboxing and review of Classified Stalker. And thank you for your likes, for the subscribes, for the comments, for supporting us, and to the Patreons. I hope you enjoyed the early access of this video. Details about all of that stuff are in the description below. And as always, guys, keep it real, stay excellent, and until the next one, yo, Joe. And to our Berg Force, thank you so much for your support. You make these cool reviews happen. You help GI Joe happen. Thank you. If you want to join our Patreon, check it out in the description below for a link. And you can get in for as little as $3 a month. Berg.